what is your kind of pitch to people to do this? Is it the reclaiming of yourself? Is it for people, let's say, that are lost in the world? Is it for people that are trying to optimize? Like, who are you going after to go into the wilderness with you now and really do this? Who are you like really appealing to?
My hopes for people listening to a conversation like this is to understand that your emotions, such as anger, as rage, as sadness, of feeling depressed some days, of feeling not worthy, of some days being like, man, this journey in this lifetime is just so intense. Like, take me away. I'm ready to leave this planet and go transcend to another one. Right? It's the resistance to ebbing and flowing into the light and into the dark. It's the resistance to understanding that life isn't always going to be perfect. There's sometimes going to be parts of your business that you're like, oh, I plan to launch on December 10th. Guess what? It happened February 25th. So are you going to be pissed and angry about that? Or are you going to ebb and flow softly into it with surrender and trust and faith? Such a deep part of my work and holding psilocybin ceremonies and breath work is teaching people, whether they're in a feminine body, whether they're in a man's body or woman's body, is truly embodying in their life trust, faith, and surrender. Because in doing that, you're not just seeking, I just want the epic moments. I just want the beautiful moments where I'm at a festival and I have my people around me and I'm hugging them and I'm listening to the best music ever, right? It's finding the magic in the pain. It's finding the magic in the discomfort. It's finding the magic in the mundane moments of literally having a sponge in our hand and washing our dishes, right? If we can find the magic in the moments that are not maybe favorable or some things that we don't want to do, we are reaching deep levels of consciousness and embodiment. Because it's again, your ability to evolve and come into your own has so much to do with going, God, this has been a really hard week. And I'm going to surrender into the fact that I know since I'm having a hard week, there's something beautiful on the other side. I know something beautiful is coming for me. And it might be coming in days or in weeks, but whatever that looks like, I hand it over to God. I hand it over to Source. And I give it over to the higher realms and know that I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So in returning to nature, right, it teaches you to be an alchemist. It teaches you to come back to your breath. It teaches you to come back to the present moment, which is your power source as a divine creator. To be able to access that creation is in the now moment. And when you go to the nature like that, you don't have your phone. You don't have your laptop. You don't have your partner to communicate to when you want to talk about something. It's just you. And you sit with those thoughts and you breathe into them. And when I was up there, I was actually going, and I do this in my life, not just on the mountain, because I'm a breath facilitator and I'm an alchemist and I'm a master of the breath. I say, thank you, anger. Thank you, resentment. Thank you, shame. Thank you for guiding me back to my heart. But you don't serve me anymore and I let you go. So when you're doing that all day long throughout the 7 days, the person that was walking off that mountain on my seventh day, Kaspar, I had gone 7 days without food. And I want everyone to know only on day 5, day 6, and day 7 did I get hungry. Only on night 5, night 6, and night 7 did I get hungry. And it wasn't even extreme hunger. It was mild to medium. Because the ASEA is liquid life force. It's universal life force. And it had my body on hype on, I mean, I can't explain it in words. I was just on fire up there, like in every single way. As I was breathing in the sun, I could literally feel the activations taking place in my DNA. Like I could feel me, my own soul's wisdom coming forward online. again, it's hard to even describe this journey in words because it was just so deep and so profound. And anyone who's had a really powerful medicine journey or a journey like this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just hard to, because the energies I felt, there aren't words in the English language to describe it. The multidimensionality and the energy I felt. And I also want everyone to know that I felt more bliss up there than I actually felt pain.
Mm.
Like there were moments that were very intense and I moved through some really deep stuff. But when I came out of that and I moved my body and I dropped into yoga and then I dropped into Shavasana for an hour, sometimes I would be in silence for 3 or 4 hours and just doing into the breath. Then I do go into yoga and then I would move all that energy through my hips, through my chest, through my body, and then into Shavasana. When I stood up and I opened my eyes, tears would start like, I'm going to start getting emotional now. Tears would start literally running down my face because I just felt so free, just free from the chains of not feeling worthy, of in my 20s, not knowing how to operate in this matrix society, not understanding why I had to work a job that I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to do that. Well, all my friends are doing that. I'm not doing that. And it cultivated a freedom inside that I've never experienced before. So when I stepped off that mountain on night 7 and I was looking at the sun rising and realizing that, wow, I did it. I gave myself such a beautiful gift of this time of just returning back home to my body, because my body is my home. Your body is your home.
Yeah.
The most important place you can create a safe space is here. It's an inside job. Your safety, your power, your authenticity, it's not external. Like you touched on, Caspar, right? We're constantly going outside. Someone tell me what to do. Someone tell me the science. Someone tell me what I need to know. No. This new era, this golden age, the age of Aquarius, is all about coming back to your body and coming back home to your own intuition, into your own wisdom, into your own knowing. And this journey gave me that. Yeah. And I would just want other people to be inspired by my own journey to know that, right? Like I didn't just feel pain. I felt bliss beyond imagination. I felt so much peace. I felt so much gratitude. And when I walked off that mountain, I literally felt like a walking ancient light beam. Like my whole world was on fire. I felt unstoppable. I felt just all kinds of new levels of creativity and projects that I wanted to do. And it was like I reinvented myself up there. Mm. I died up on that mountain so many times and I was reborn in the flames over and over again. And I could not be more grateful for it. And so I would just want others to be inspired to really just lean into that discomfort when they hear something like this and know that if you do feel some resistance in your body about, gosh, maybe I should do something like that, that's good. That's a good thing. Because in the resistance, if we can go into that resistance and lean in and actually show up and say, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to actually feel that I feel anxious and nervous about it and know that that's a good thing because there's something powerful waiting for me on the other side.
Yeah. And this idea of death and rebirth is truly powerful in its own right, because I think we experience it a lot when we're younger. We go through stages where we get to we actually graduate certain things where it's elementary school. We got to start growing up and not being, so catered by our parents, and then next steps. And then you go to college, you graduate that, and you're suddenly in the real world. And we stop. And I think at every stage you have a death and rebirth in a sense. You leave something else behind, you move on and evolve into someone else. But it kind of stops then. We go into the real world and we're just told to go make the living and, progress on our own ways and follow society and these structures of everything. But we then become stale in some ways. We don't have many deaths and rebirths or graduation markers or celebrations, really. A few here and there, but mostly on societal terms. of course, celebrate when you're married and things like that. But are we truly embracing now what a lot of different cultures, which was the death of a certain person and now the union of something new? And that's more of a spiritual level than just a celebration with, booze and champagne, everything. It's a little different.
Exactly. Very different energies.
Very different energies. And so I think you're finding so many people are lost. And when you're lost, you're depressed, you're anxious, you're confused about things. You don't know, you don't have intuition. I think by going through an experience such as the one you went through, getting back in touch with nature, actually experiencing somewhat of a death and rebirth, you then get, like you said, in touch with your authentic self, and you evolve, you alchemize to a higher level, to a higher consciousness state, and you find yourself, and you lose that part of you that was depressed, lost, anxious, all of that. So I think it's incredibly important now more than ever that we do find ourselves, and we do go through with events like these, with experiences like these, and especially just the idea of getting back in touch with Mother Nature.